Hi, everybody. This is day 1323. Um, Earlier, when I did my live stream, I said it wrong. It's been an emotional day, um, and it's a good day um, because we received evidence, right? And for the longest time, we asked, "Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence?" Right? Where are the open records requests? Why aren't they sending them to us? Why would our agency and agencies, organizations, and even military prefer to break the law than to answer our open records requests? And I think that's a big deal. So let's see if I'm on. Yes, I am. And then, of course, if you're patient, um, because we have been asked from, you know, really, uh, I don't know, not too long after we returned back from Fort Bliss, when are people going to get arrested? When are people going to get arrested? When will we have accountability? Is there anybody out there? Is it Veronica Escobar? No. Maybe she'll do it now. But I don't think so. Um, I'm always with hope, always with hope. Um, is it with Ted Cruz? Will he come through? Maybe there's a chance there. Will the military come through and finally have Richards back? I don't know. Um, I don't know. There's so much at stake here because of what happened with the Walmart case. And this new development of the El Paso Police Department honoring our open records request. Now, there's more, right? There's the 911 call that we still haven't received. Um, and because, clearly our information that we've gotten from El Paso, from our intelligence, is that it was Belen Rocha that made the 911 call. And of course, the arresting officer was Melendez, a canine cop. A canine cop. Well, I don't think he was the arresting cop, but a canine cop is the one that came answer to that 911 call, and he is seems to be a relative of Belen, a close relative of Belen. So you know. There is a conflict of interest here, to say the least, that needs to be investigated. Because absolutely, even though something really amazing came out of watching these videos, which, initially I could only watch the first, like, I don't know how many seconds, and I had to go on a walk, and I just had to have a really big cry and go on a walk because it only took, well, let me explain what happened today because I know I'm talking in circles. We received the open records requests as far as the January 2020 police stop, the El Paso police stop and arrest of Richard in January of 2020. We received the videos of that incident today. Okay? Now, we have known for years that that was a nothing burger, right? We have known. And as time has gone on, it has been proven to um, to be really quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite. It is a big deal, a very big deal. So something that we thought um, was just Come on. You have nothing. You have nothing. You have no proof. Where is the proof? Right? They could have brought out those videos and showed us the proof, and they used that stop and that arrest um, as a weapon, to smear Richard and to use it as an excuse for all the retaliation that he had received. Because of that stop and that arrest, he was given a permanent GOMAR by Major General Clem Coward. Clearly, clearly that was an abuse of power, an abuse of his position. And with today's video, which it took, what, 3.5 years to get? More than 3.5 years. We're almost at 4 years to get that proof, which, that video speaks 1,000 words and more. It only took a minute watching it to realize it was in a lawful situation, that Richard absolutely looks beautiful. He was sober. He absolutely was respectful. He was so sweet. He was so sweet. He was so respectful. Complied with everything. Totally taken advantage of. There is no way that Clem Coward, after talking to those police officers, unless those police officers were up to no good, would give Richard a permanent GOMAR. Okay, he is absolutely culpable. Absolutely culpable. Because that video, those videos, because this is 3 videos, 2 are kind of a repeat. There are 2 major videos. They're about 43 minutes each in length. And it starts with police officer K9 police Melendez speaking. So the rest, the whole rest, oh my gosh, except for that part, because it's like, he's up to no good. He's up to no good. And yeah, absolutely, that proves that he's up to no good. But Richard looks so good. He was perfect. He was absolutely perfect. 21-year-old. 20, right? Was he 20 at the time? Yeah. Totally beautiful, perfect. So complying, so respectful, and absolutely our nation's finest. Our nation's finest. And because of the crime network on Fort Bliss in El Paso, he was retaliated against. Absolutely, this shows that this was an act of retaliation for his whistleblowing. Absolutely. There's no other way to explain it. And so, because of that evidence that we have, and we have to research, here we are being the investigators, the everything for our son's case. We're going to have to think about how we can respond to this evidence, use this evidence to help us find Richard. Because the end of the day, it's all about getting the military and the agencies to feel so much pressure for what they've done that we can get accountability and get our son's remains. Get our son's remains. This is really our goal. And we had no idea at the beginning of all of this that Richard's case was intertwined with the Walmart mass shooting case, and that it would expose the criminal network that organized, absolutely organized, planned, premeditated, organized, even with military training, the Walmart mass shooting to murder people, This was not a Patrick Crucius lone wolf shooting. Okay? This was a political motivated, also, and why do I say politically motivated? Because they wanted to keep their power, and they wanted to keep their gravy train going. And the gravy train is that border. That gravy train is the crime crossing that border. And it is also ideology, because anybody that is participating in those kind of criminal activities, child sex trafficking, child pornography, which is child torture, the selling of illegal drugs to our volunteer sons and daughters who have sworn to protect the Constitution, to defend the Constitution, and the leadership does not secure the military installations, and the barracks become marketplaces for illegal drugs. Also home for 14-year-old girls to be living there and being pimped out as sex slaves in the barracks. I kid you not, flush with weapons, with illegal weapons, with unregistered weapons. I kid you not. The weapons smuggling, this is all proven. This is not me saying it. It's all in the news. It's all done with very fine reporters, excluding Bob Moore of El Paso Matters, with those who associate with him. And so this is really where the battle is. The battle is with fake news. The battle is with fake news who abuse our system, do not report on what is going on in an honest and transparent, neutral 501c3 manner, and they use unreliable sources. Bob Moore has used unreliable sources. We have exhausted ourselves with trying to get in touch with him, laying out the criminal record of Leilani Hart, how she is not reliable, that she doesn't even report in a timely fashion the rape of a 7-year-old in her master bedroom, that she has a history of harassment, that she is a convicted criminal for lying to law enforcement authorities, that she was arrested for breaking a restraining order, that, and on and on, that she is the mother of Richard's platoon leader, Dallas Hart, who is the prime suspect in the forced disappearance and murder of our son. We have tried exhaustively to get his attention about Leilani Hart and about Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia, both with immigration issues. And we are fully aware of who Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia is, that she is the ex-wife of a victim in the Walmart shooting. We absolutely know. We're so sorry about that. But she targeted our son's case. She's up to no good. She has immigration issues. She is connected to Danae Katzen, a convicted criminal, a con artist who also targeted our son's case. She's connected to her to 3905 Bliss Avenue, which is very concerning, very, very concerning. And unlike Bob Moore, we are transparent. We speak the truth. The El Paso community needs to know this. Know that there needs to be an investigation in Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia and her family, with the Walmart mass shooting, because the Walmart mass shooting is way more than what people have been led to believe. That Bob Moore is using these unreliable sources that need to be investigated, um, and using them to sabotage, to obstruct, to interfere in the investigation, in the search, in the for the perpetrators of the forced disappearance and murder of a U.S. Army soldier, Richard Halliday, young and beautiful and respectful, young and beautiful and respectful to law enforcement authorities. And to see him in those videos today, it's and to know that Bob Moore is out there aligning himself with the likes of Leilani Hart, the mother of Dallas Hart, the prime suspect. Yeah, and aligning himself with Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia, who wants to capitalize, it seems to be, um, on the suffering, of so many people, that now, not only have the tragedy of the Walmart mass shooting that happened on August 3rd, which is Dallas Hart's birthday, and you have this boxer who's saying these crimes are connected to satanic rituals, that there's an ideology behind all of this, which has circulated in our investigation over and over again. So to see this kind of criminality and Bob Moore, please join us, because we are absolutely, since he has not responded to us, we are absolutely going to continue to contact every sponsor, every supporter, every advertiser that we can find. Please help us. Um, he cannot be supported in this kind of harm that he's doing to our community, and then not responding to a family's please, please. And there's so much behind the scenes that is just so appalling. And so, you know, we cannot let other families have to go through this. And so we know that our agencies and our Department of Justice, our FBI, um, have been weaponized, right? But our media has been weaponized. And Bob Moore is a very good example of that. He has weaponized and he has used and abused his very privileged 501c3 status, and he's violated it. Clearly, he's violated it, because if he was neutral, he would have at least responded to us and discussed with us our son's case and how Leilani Hart and Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia with Danae Katzen have obstructed and sabotaged our, solving the case, and getting our son's remains back. And I know that solving the case would just be a domino effect on the criminal network that has a grip on Fort Bliss and El Paso. And we're loosening that grip. We really are. And it's going to be just something to behold when it's loosed, and the freedom that El Pasoans and our volunteer sons and daughters will feel. They'll actually be able to say, like the SOP says, live in the barracks, in a place where they will want to live. Because right now, it's not a place they want to live. One of the things that Richard says in these videos that we watched today, because he was totally with it, okay? Um, all of the narratives that the agents of cover up, right? The agents that are used to discredit Richard. That's why they didn't release it sooner, because anyone that watches it will be like, unless you're an agent of deception, um, an agent of this criminal network, um, will see just how wonderful he is. Yeah. So all the lies by Stars and Stripes. Stars and Stripes lied. Um, and that was from the PAO. Allie Payne lied. CID agent, Dirty Agent Marlon Soto lied. Um, the command lied. But who could have had Richard's back, even if the army didn't have his back? It could have been the media. And to see the media, especially Bob Moore, because he's 501c3, he's supposed to be like the public broadcasting system, right? He is supposed to be neutral. And he is just a political attack machine. He came into place in 2020 to absolutely, he was caught. We have open records colluding with Bill Hicks, the when Bill Hicks was a private attorney, of course, representing Purchase Funeral Homes, and Justin Underwood, which is Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia's attorney, colluding with those two. So that trifecta colluding together to unseat a duly elected district attorney prosecuting the Walmart case. And they colluded together, spoke on social media together, which means Justin Underwood, it seems like he broke the gag order because he was assigned to the Walmart case. And but Bob Moore colluded with those two to put forth a petition to unseat her, to unelect her, to to disenfranchise 230,000 people that voted for Yvonne Rosales. I believe it was that many, right? To unseat her. And then this is another thing that the open records reveal is that Omar Carmona, who just lost, thank you, God, thank you, El Paso, thank you, because he helped stage the filing of the petition because the district clerk's office said, no, that didn't happen that day. They staged the filing of the petition with Bob Moore there, so Bob Moore could profit off of that through his El Paso matters. That's what it looks like to us. Please correct us. And of course, we would ask that of Bob Moore if he would respond to us, but he doesn't respond to us. He rather play patty cakes with Leilani Hart and Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia, two unreliable sources. And they staged this submission of the filing of this petition to unseat Yvonne Rosales, who was prosecuting the Walmart case, who wanted a trial date because it was on there. And you can read for yourself because she put in complaints, right? So yeah, this is a very super important case. Of course, it's our son's case, but more than that, it's a Donald Trump case. This is a Donald Trump case because they interfered with his election also. The way they handled the Walmart mass shooting, that and the narrative that absolutely is just one big falsification of what truly happened. And they attacked the supporters of Trump, whether you like Trump or not. This is so illegal. They did it to Yvonne Rosales, who's a Democrat. Okay. And they did it to Trump and his supporters because they had to smear the character of Trump's supporters by aligning them with white supremacy and racist and just terrible things. And the rhetoric was so vile and vulgar. You can read it for yourself. I just can't repeat it. And what is very curious is that the records show that Patrick Crusius was um, registered a Democrat. And then with this whole manifesto thing, whatever, he instantaneously became a Republican. You know, so they stage things. I know that they stage things because they staged the task force find Richard Halliday with 15 plus agencies, with no op board, no operational order, no do outs, nothing, nothing. It was totally just staged. They staged the filing of the petition to remove Yvonne Rosales uh, to capitalize on that. And they absolutely organized, and yes, people were actually murdered. Um, but they absolutely organized, staged, planned the Walmart mass shooting. And they did it for political reasons. They did it to capitalize on it. They also did it to divert attention to audits, to their own criminal um, network that was being exposed. And so that is our assessment of what happened. And today, with the video of Richard, it's very clear that he was not what they, he was just so beautiful. And this was an act of retaliation. And even clearly in the videos, it's an act of retaliation. And I will tell you this, um, the, uh, the stop and arrest by police in a parking lot is unlawful. And so the whole thing is constitutionally a violation of his rights because he was in a parking lot. Okay. It was all in a parking lot. Him, he was totally set up in a parking lot. And they had no jurisdiction there to do what they did. And no reason even to do what they did. He absolutely did everything beautifully. Um, and if anything, it makes you so angry. You just want to go through. Oh, it makes you so angry that they can do this, use our system, just like Sean Bernabe is using our uniform, our stars, right? And that Jerry Jackovitz used our uniform, our stripes, right? Because he was his command sergeant major, um, to be enemies of our young volunteer sons and daughters. You know, they have an obligation to care for our young volunteering sons and daughters. And yet, with leaders like this who needs enemies because they absolutely were just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Horrible. And um, yeah, it makes you really um, so sad, so angry that people can be that selfish, that self-serving with our goodwill and with our children. But these are brutal people that abuse children every day. These are pedophiles. They are sex cult fanatics. All they care about is that um, self gratification. That's all they care about. And this pornography, that's child pornography. But all pornography is child sex trafficking. Uh, you really have to realize that. And this assault against our children, the children of our country, it it is, it really, it's so worrisome because, or an indication that we better wake up as far as um, gird our loins to the fact that we have some work to do. We have some work to do to save our country. Um, and so this has inspired us. We're in reorganization mode here in our headquarters, um, our Team Find Richard Halliday headquarters. We war room, our war room, um, and our goal is justice, accountability, our son's remains coming home, and exposing this criminal network that took our son's life. Not only took our son's life, but took from America its finest, one of its finest, and a volunteer soldier in the United States Army. So that still means something to us. I hope it still means something to you, because if the enemy can mess with our soldiers, if they can mess with our farmers, if they can mess with our money, if they can mess um, with the American citizen, then we're weak then. So this is where we have to protect every one of our service members from harm, from attack, from abuse of power, even if it's from within. We have to protect our farmers, our food supply, our water supply, our money, the value of our money. We have to protect that, and we have to protect our borders. Those are just no-brainers. No-brainers for the success of our country. So, and if that still means something to you like it means to us, the way that you can help us is to share, to make videos, to spread the story about Richard. Say his name. Say Richard Halliday. Say Richard Halliday, the Vanessa Guillen first absent soldier, the whistleblower of Fort Bliss. Um, Absolutely, spread that information. And then also to contact every advertiser, every supporter of El Paso Matters and Bob Moore and say, shut it down. Shut it down. Go somewhere else. Shut it down. Shut it down. El Paso Matters needs to be shut down. Bob Moore needs to be shut down because he's using unreliable sources to protect the criminals. To protect the criminals, which hurts our against a U.S. Army soldier, against the community. So shut it down, okay? So thank you so much. Oh, Helen, thank you for coming on. Thank you for your prayers. Yeah, and what this tells you too, I want to know, I want people to know, as hard as that was for us today, and it's still hard, it was a sign that we have, that we are doing something, right? That times have changed, that we are accomplishing something. And, things just don't happen overnight. You have to stick with it. And, Richard's worth it, right? Our children are worth it. Our soldiers are worth it. Our country is worth it. So we have to stick with this. And we have to keep chipping away and demanding um, investigations, demanding justice, demanding that they do their job. And this release of these videos is a huge, huge indication that we have been, this is a small success, right? A small step forward. So we're very grateful for it. And we hope to, we'll see if we can release the videos. They're about 43 minutes each. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, thank you so much. Soon. I always get kicked off and don't get notified. I know we are being so targeted. So, here not only was Richard targeted, not only was Richard retaliated, but his family asking questions about his disappearance and his murder to the authorities is also being harassed and silenced. And so that's why we need your help. We need, thank you, never give up. We need your help to, just push the share button. Just say, hey, this is what's going on. And it seems like Team Find Richard Halliday is taking down the deep state there in El Paso. Yeah, just say those kind of things. And that really helps. That really helps. And we have to ask those advertisers, the businesses, to not advertise and do business with El Paso Matters, Bob Moore. Okay. Thank you so much. God bless you, Maria Valencia. So sorry about your son, Richard. My heart goes out for you. I just logged in and have to share and logged in. Have you shared videos yet? Um, soon, soon. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. God bless you. And I will say this, the videos don't look good for Melendez. Okay? They look exquisite for Richard, but not for Melendez. So, and the other officer. Um, I know his name. Anyway. All right. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I will be back tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.